I mean, they were spending money at the Department of Energy like it was ditch water. Their budget went from $60 billion to $160 billion since fiscal year 2021. It just sounds to me like there were a lot of people coming to the Department of Energy who had all 4 feet and their snout in the trough. And I hope you'll turn down the boondoggles and refer the thieves to the Department of Justice.
We will indeed.
It's rare that I'm speechless. But I want to be sure I understood. The people running the Department of Energy for President Biden's administration shoveled $93 billion, not million, $93 billion out the door in 76 days, and it just happened to be the time between when President Trump was elected and President Biden, their boss, was leaving. Is that right?
It is correct and distasteful. Confidence undermining.
My God.
In a Senate hearing that left jaws on the floor, Senator John Kennedy confronted the Biden administration's energy secretary with a series of bold, direct questions about controversial last-minute loans that could reshape the future of green energy and government accountability. If you're following the fight for transparency in Washington, you won't want to miss this. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss these explosive moments from Capitol Hill. The hearing began with a bombshell: over $90 billion in loans issued by the Department of Energy under the Biden administration, just weeks before key regulatory changes were set to take effect. These weren't routine transactions. These were high-stakes, last-minute deals rushed through without standard scrutiny. Senator Kennedy, known for his sharp wit and no-nonsense approach, came prepared.
Thank you, Senator. Mr. Secretary, I want to go back to some of your earlier testimony, be sure I heard it correctly. The 76-day period you're talking about, that's the period between the time that President Trump was elected and President Biden left office. Is that right?
That is correct.
And during that short period of time, 76 days, how much taxpayer money went out the door of the Department of Energy?
From the Loan Program Office in loans and commitments, $93 billion. Well over twice as much as in the previous 15 years. So,
how do you vet and do due diligence on a loan in 76 days? One loan, much less $93 billion. How do you do it?
I think it's probably pretty clear it wasn't done in many cases. As I mentioned, I'm told I'm holding back clearly in place stuff. There is lots of funds that have gone out the door and commitments that were made from businesses that provided no business plan, no numbers about their own financial solvency or how this project
So
can
you're
actually
telling
work.
me that the Department of Energy, in the 76-day period, before their boss was going to leave office, gave or loaned money to entities that had no business plan?
Correct.
No financials?
Correct. A number of those were were before the 76-day period as well. I've come in with great concern about how this institution, this great American institution, has been run and how American taxpayer money has been handled.
Does anybody ever come to you? Is it conceivable that some of these folks that heard about this free money came to you with a half-baked idea?
I think it's very conceivable. In fact, I've seen such plans that were half-baked would be charitable.
That didn't have a business plan, right?
Correct.
It's rare that I'm speechless. But I want to be sure I understood. The people running the Department of Energy for President Biden's administration shoveled $93 billion, not million, $93 billion out the door in 76 days, and it just happened to be the time between when President Trump was elected and President Biden, their boss, was leaving. Is that right?
It is correct and distasteful. Confidence undermining.
My God.
Kennedy, clip. Madam Secretary, I'm trying to understand how this isn't a fire sale of taxpayer money. Kennedy wasted no time. His line of questioning was laser-focused. Why the rush, who benefited, and where was the oversight? Kennedy, clip. Are you saying the loans were thoroughly vetted even though they were approved at lightning speed? Energy Secretary, clip. Well, Senator, we followed the... Kennedy, interrupting. Please don't spin me, just answer the question. The room went silent. The Energy Secretary defended the administration's actions, stating that the loans were crucial for advancing clean energy initiatives and boosting domestic manufacturing. But Kennedy wasn't buying it. Energy Secretary, clip. These loans were necessary to keep America competitive. Kennedy, clip. And apparently necessary enough to skip proper vetting, that's the concern. The tension in the room was undeniable. Social media exploded. Hashtags like #KennedyGrillsDOE and #Greengate started trending. Critics accused the administration of backroom dealings while defenders claimed the urgency of climate action justified the speed. Narrator. Whatever side you're on, one thing is clear. This hearing exposed a critical fault line in the battle between oversight and executive action. This wasn't just about money. It was about trust, transparency, and who holds power in Washington. With elections looming and energy policy front and center, the Kennedy confrontation may be just the beginning. Narrator. And as more documents come to light, we'll be here to break them down. So, were the loans a smart move for a greener future, or a reckless gamble with taxpayer dollars? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay on top of the biggest moments shaking Capitol insights.